The biggest impact of IT is not on information management, it's on people management, it's on relationships management, it's on process management, it's on systems management. You can't run a system, you can't run a process in the 21st century without treating technology, digital technology, as a medium for innovation and optimization. If you think IT is a commodity, get out of the business. That's like saying people are a commodity, or talent is a commodity, or capital is a commodity. People who think that IT is a commodity shouldn't be managers. They're not going to be good at getting results because you can't succeed without getting return on investment from technologies. My real frustration, and their real frustration, is that they're trying to do the future by extending what they're already doing, instead of saying, what does my customer really care about? The irony of all of this is 90% of the executives I'm dealing with have children who are getting more value for less money from the technology they use than their parents do in their organizations. I'm not going to do the cliche that executives should look to teenagers. All I'm saying is it really doesn't require you to think about things in terms of technology. It requires you to think about things in terms of what kind of impact do we want to have. Reverse engineer from the impact you want to have rather than extend from the existing processes that you're using. Technology is not about optimizing what exists. It's about envisioning and implementing the value you want to go create. These technologies are a means to an end. Discuss the end, not the means. What's one of the biggest differences between digital technologies now and 10, 15 years ago? If you attempted an experiment on a factory floor, in a store, in a school, it cost you a lot of money. It was expensive. You couldn't afford to fail. The cost of experimentation was so high that it really took courage to do, and if it failed, you looked bad. Now, doing experimentation with digital media, the cost of experimenting, the cost of exploration has collapsed. It's cheaper and easier for people to be innovative now than it was even 10 years ago. If I had to pick a phrase to describe the work that I do, it would be the behavioral economics of innovation. And the problem with people who come out of excellent MBA programs is that they're really, really, really smart people. They love to analyze data. They love to analyze information. In fact, they would rather analyze data and information than do a simple experiment. But the same technologies that allow you to do multivariate regression analysis allow you to do simple and even more complicated experiments on a factory floor, in a store, in a classroom, in the street, in a mall, in a car. It's fantastic. But people have been trained not to do experiments in business school, but to study cases and perform calculations. We've been entrained to ignore oftentimes the single most valuable thing these technologies can do for us in the workplace and in the marketplace. If I'm living in a world where I used to get 2 letters a day, and now I'm living in a world where I get 10 emails an hour, my expectations have changed profoundly. My time is different. Please don't waste my time. Please give me better tools for managing my time. Give me better choices. Make me offers based on my behavior, not on what you think I might like because you happen to be selling X, Y, or Z. Everybody's expectations are transforming. Changing technologies changes expectations. Does that reduce your chance to add value to your business, or does that increase your chance to add value to your business? The paradigm shift that the Web 2.0 technologies give us is that innovation is no longer about creating new features and functionality. Ooh, there's this, there's this, there's this. We have to move away from the notion of innovation being about greater creation of choice to greater value from use. the weasel answer is how do you get a company to do that is that's what you incent. You have to move away from incenting engineers to give more features and functionality and ending up with bloatware, et cetera, versus we're not going to reward you for coming up with new stuff. We're going to reward you for new stuff that people use, they're happy using, and that they'll pay for using. And wait, we'll give you a bonus if based on their usage, they give us new ideas or better ideas for improvements and extensions of these sorts of things. I have to tell you, one of the things that shocked me as I've worked in the business world is how oftentimes when companies have sold a product or a service, they don't look at how it's used. General Motors didn't care how people were driving. They cared about warranty, but if somebody had a car, fine. When Barnes & Noble sell a book, they get paid whether you read the book or not. They get paid whether you keep the book or whether you give it away or not. They don't care about value from use. So long as they get the money, good enough for them. No longer satisfactory. The advantage that the Web 2.0 companies like eBay and Google have, they know how their networks are being used. The phone companies finally are getting around to appreciating how stuff is being used. Things like the App Store give you insight, not at the variety of apps, but how much they're being used. That's the key. It's not just what gets bought, it's what gets used and how does it get used. P&G cares enormously about how people use their products. Therefore, it has made enormous investments in ethnography, putting digital cameras in people's, bathrooms, kitchens, etc. It was expensive in 1985 to videotape somebody using Tide in the laundry. Now people can actually send cell phone pictures and movies of how they mix detergent and how they throw stuff in, if they want to. Okay, YouTube people are broadcasting their cleaning and detergent and their laundry behavior. All of the things that P&G cares about, the bandwidth and insight the economics of that has been fundamentally transformed. But it wouldn't matter one whit if all P&G cared about, or the main thing P&G cared about was, do people buy our detergent or buy our products, and are they happy with them? Customer sat isn't enough. It's customer use that really matters. I will give you a terrific example of a company that has used digital technology, digital tools as digital tools that actually you wouldn't expect to be not just a pioneer, but a successful, scalable example of this. In fact, they were so successful using technologies that Walmart accused them of being an unfair competitor. That customer is the UK supermarket Tesco. Tesco has 3 rules in regards to rolling out new processes for inside their stores. And that is, it has to be better for customers, big shock. It has to be cheaper for Tesco, big shock. But it also has to be simpler for staff. Now, you have to be pretty stupid if you can't come up with something that's better for customers. And you and your accountants are pretty lazy if you can't figure out how something ultimately becomes cheaper for Tesco over time. What kills over half of the proposed innovations at Tesco is simpler for staff. The real challenge for IT is not how do we get stuff to work. It's how do we get stuff to work easily, conveniently. You're respecting people. The challenge that Tesco has that an MIT doesn't is that Tesco has people working for it that not only didn't graduate from college, they dropped out of high school. How do you design digital media and digital tools to support the equivalent of high school dropouts? Somehow, Tesco, by using these 3 heuristics, is designing its stores as environments that make it not just easier for people to shop, but easier for Tesco employees to serve the people who shop. This isn't a technology focus. This is what kind of experience are we trying to create for our customers and for our employees? When you ask the right questions, the right technologies suggest themselves. A perfect example is that now Tesco counts the number of people coming into the store. When a certain threshold is hit based on time of day, they open up another till. They open up another cash register. They try to strike, they have used algorithms and simple rules to strike a good balance between number of people in the store and what do we all hate, wait time in the queue to check out. You've shopped, you don't want to wait 5 minutes. You don't even want to wait 2 minutes. Tesco uses simple rules, simple technologies. Now, there are ways of making complex technologies more accessible, cash registers, etc., swipes, all these things that we know about. But again, what are they trying to, what's the design focus? The design focus is we want to make it easy for people to shop. We want to make it easy for them to come in, easy for them to stay, and easy for them to leave. Minimize frustration, because if we minimize the frustration, even if we're selling the same stuff, they have to wait 5 minutes in Sainsbury's, they only have to wait 30 seconds at Tesco. Heck, we'll even pay a slight premium because they don't waste our time at Tesco's. Nice, simple, easy example. It's a meaningless thing to discuss without the technology, but the technology isn't valuable unless you discuss what kind of impact you want to have on customers.